Merry Christmas and thanks for coming through. I hope this finds you well and warm and safe and happy and ready for a good Christmas season. You know, in 30 years as a real estate guy in Northumberland, I've come to realize that my whole business model was bumping into people. I would go out and go to Canadian Tire or Home Depot, maybe down to the waterfront, no frills, whatever I was doing during my day, I would just bump into folks and have a conversation. Could be clients, could be friends who became clients or clients who became friends, and you know who you are. And we just have a visit. We'd catch up with each other, talk about our families, talk about what's going on in the world, share a laugh or two. Sometimes we talk about real estate, but not always. And that was a really big part of my day. And I used to think I had the best job going, I really did. But then probably you, like me, found that COVID changed our lives tremendously. And in a snap decision between phase 1 and phase 2, we decided to move out to British Columbia to be closer to our kids. It was really quick. We didn't sell anything in Ontario. We rented our house in Cobourg. We rented our house out here. The cost's about the same. It's just a different roof, really, is what it boils down to. We didn't have a long-range plan. We just wanted to get out near the kids before they closed the borders, and then we would just deal with things as they came along. And that's been great. That's been great. But I found that I really miss those random conversations I used to have every day. So I thought I would reach out today and maybe share a little bit about our new life with you, and maybe a little of the old, and maybe you might find it interesting. We are here at the upper end of the Okanagan Valley. If you know British Columbia at all, we're in the middle of it. You've probably heard of Penticton and Kelowna and Vernon. Well, we are north of Vernon, and this is the Shuswap River. And Shuswap River is a very, very ancient river. It meanders all over the place. In fact, at one time this was the main channel, but over time the river had meandered so much at the other end of this loop it pushed through and connected with the loop over here. So now this, what I'm pointing to, is actually an island now. And if you were to Google on Google Earth 349 Hidden Lake Road, Enderby, that's where we live. And if you scroll out a little bit and put it on satellite view, you'd see just how this river has meandered through this mountain valley for centuries. And someday this will probably become an oxbow lake. Like, certainly not in my lifetime, but someday this will become an oxbow lake, which is really cool. This river is open, at least while we've been here, it's been open all year round. There's a bit of a current, so it never actually freezes. It's just amazing for kayaking. In the spring, winter, and fall, I've been out kayaking, and it's just been absolutely spectacular. In the spring runoff, when the mountains have their snow melt, there's no dams on this river, so the river rises, and it actually rises enough that I have kayaked right over top of the island last spring and down into the corner. I kayaked there. Actually, just check this out. It's just amazing how high the river comes up, and it has every year. Some not always the same, but it rises dramatically in the springtime. But it's not when you think it would be. It actually rises around the first part of June to the middle of June. So you have your spring, and you think, this is nothing, this is fine. And then you're out, you're doing your fishing or whatever you want to do, and then you come out one morning, the river's 3 feet higher. It's just amazing how fast it comes up and how high it comes up. And then it'll rise for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then it starts to recede, and it goes down just as dramatically, just washes right out. It's amazing how much water goes through here. It's just phenomenal. But this river is home to all kinds of wildlife. It's just amazing. There's all kinds of fish. We have a lot of different varieties of trout and a lot of different varieties of salmon, and there's also whitefish and some other I don't know all the names, but it's a protected trout fishery. So if you fish this river, you have to fish with barbless hooks. You cannot keep the trout you catch, and you can only keep the salmon you catch at certain times of the year. There's a season for it. It's a very short season. Whitefish you can catch anytime. So I've been enjoying this. I've been going out fishing quite regularly. But check this out. In the springtime, the sockeye salmon were on a big run this year, and I paddled up this way to the end of the where this branch of the river meets the main channel, and I parked my kayak on a gravel bank, and then I waded out into the river probably waded out about 20 feet, but it was only about 4 or 5 inches of water. And check this out, isn't this amazing? It's absolutely magical. I've never experienced anything like this in my lifetime. It's just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. The river's also home to otters. We've had those. And when the salmon come in, the eagles come to feed on the salmon. So in the fall, there can be, 15, 20 bald eagles all grouped together in trees just waiting for the salmon to tire out. And they are up in the trees, from up in the trees, the elevation, they can see through the water and see the fish swimming. It's just amazing to watch them hunt. And I've never heard an eagle sing before, which has just been absolutely phenomenal too. They wake us up every morning. We've had a couple of couples of bald eagles as well. Apparently they travel in pairs. We've had 2 pairs of golden eagles come through as well, which has just been amazing. They're just majestic birds, absolutely amazing birds. The river has been home to all kinds of wildlife, but so is the land itself. We normally have all kinds of deer. The coyotes are just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable, the coyotes. We also have bears, and we've had 1 or 2 bears come by quite close in the last couple of years, which is kind of a little off-putting for a guy like me. But more than that, we've got a cougar. And I'm not talking about the Bon Jovi kind of cougar. We've had cougars. Last winter, one took a deer by the driveway, which was it stopping me walking around too much. And then just today, I was out for a walk along the riverbank, and I found some cougar tracks along there in the snow. So I got to be more mindful of that as well. I was going to show you guys some stuff, but truthfully, I'm a little bit afraid of it right now. So I'll just look at that's why I'm using so many pictures. I don't want to go around and walk too much. Along with the house, I was able to rent a shop on the property, and the van that we bought to move out in, I spent the first winter converting it into a camper. So we've joined the van life community, and in fact, I videotaped it all. If you want to watch it, or if you're interested at all, just visit vanofaction.com. But this shop has become a real godsend for me. I brought out 1 tub of tools, and I started to assemble the equipment that I needed out here by buying like stuff at auctions and estate sales and things, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been an awful lot of fun. This past fall, I purchased a small boat because I want to get on the river and fish a little bit more, and I'm not perfectly comfortable fishing out of the kayak, particularly in the winter months. So I bought this boat. This will be my winter project. I get it put back together again, take it apart, put it back together again, and then look for a little motor to put on it and be able to get out and do some fishing. That'll be a fun thing. I came down to the shop to do some tinkering before Christmas, and it just struck me at how different my life is today. When we were in Cobourg, we were right in the middle of everything. Living on King Street, I could walk to the waterfront, walk downtown, walk to a bunch of pubs, every restaurant in town just about. I was riding my bike all over the place. We were right in the middle of everything. And out here, we're right in the middle of nowhere. It's so isolated, it's unbelievable. And I can't believe how much joy I'm finding in living like this. Although we cannot talk to anybody face to face, thank God I still have video calls and telephone calls with people almost every day. Speaking of which, while we're there, I'm still licensed in Ontario. I'm a real estate guy in Ontario. My stone home business is still flourishing in Ontario since COVID. I'm not listing and selling properties, obviously, but if you or someone you care about is thinking about making a change and you're not really sure what to do or who to talk to, and you just want to have a conversation about that, feel free to reach out to me. I've still got my finger in the pie out there, and I'm still having those conversations every day. I know what the market's like, and if you just want to talk about changes or possible changes, reach out. I'd be glad to do that. This past year, I've had a couple of good friends and clients do exactly that, and I really enjoy it. I'm here for it if you want me to be, and that's good. That wasn't the purpose of this video, though. That's good, though. But I think coming out of COVID, I think that Kathy and I have probably won the lottery. We're close to our kids. We're seeing them regularly. We're going to have them here for Christmas. We're living in a place, probably the nicest place I've ever lived in my whole life. I've never imagined being in a spot like this. And I'm really enjoying the adventure of discovering what it's like. We're in our second winter, and this winter is different than last winter. It's absolutely phenomenal. I hope that you can say the same thing. I hope that your life is going well, going well too, you know. And I wanted to reach out today and just say Merry Christmas to you and yours. I think of everyone from time to time, and if you'd like to chat, you know, give me a call. Love to catch up with anybody. Have a video call, and I'll take you for a walk through the bush. Be a fun thing to do. Have a safe and happy holiday, and be well.